Welcome back, everybody. In this short tutorial, what we're going to be demonstrating is how to open up a pre-existing data file through the content section of the D2L site. So if we look at the D2L site, you're going to notice under week 2 describing data, there is going to be a file called the Serum Zinc data file. I would like you to click on that particular file. And if you are running Internet Explorer, you will end up going through the requisite set of security settings. So what we want to do is download that file, or allow us to download the file. And although I'm going to click on Open, I will highly recommend that you click on Save and then save this particular file to a dedicated folder on your computer. And now what you're going to see is that this particular data file is going to be opened up in your copy of Stata 11. And this should look really familiar. We can see this very, very large user interface screen. We have our command area. And there's the noted difference here that we actually see some changes. First off, you'll see in the variable screen that we see the variable zinc. You'll see in the command screen a log of the command that was run, and since we opened up a file, this is the way that the file is translated in terms of a command. It's use, and then a user pathway, and then it actually has the name of the particular file that you've opened up. Noticeably absent here is the data, and that is one thing that we're going to examine right now. Where is the data? In fact, if we go up here to these two particular buttons, there's something that is called Data Editor Edit, and another one which is called Data Editor Browse. I want you to click on the Data Editor Browse. You should see something that looks very familiar. It almost looks like an Excel spreadsheet. And what you see on this particular screen is the name of the variable, which is zinc, and this was data which was compiled from a study that took blood measurements from 462 different individuals, and then their results were placed on the screen. And you will see each one of those particular measurements, all the way from the first individual who was measured, all the way to the 462nd individual that was measured. I can exit out of this window, and you'll notice that the data does not disappear. It remains inside of Stata's memory. I can also click on the button right next door, which is called the Data Editor Edit, and I see the exact same screen. However, in this particular screen, I can change the values of the data, or I can actually even add data. So for instance, let's say I measure a 463rd individual, and their serum zinc measurement was, 165. I can hit enter, and now I have a 463rd individual and their measurement as well. One thing to keep in mind is that anytime you make any changes in data, what you want to make sure that you do is that you save that data. So right here where you see the little floppy disk, you can click and it will give you a message such as this: overwrite the existing file if you are using an existing file. Or what you can do is rename it. And the way that you accomplish that is if you go up to the button File, Save As, and then you can give it some type of unique name. What we're going to do in the next video is actually create data and then look at some of the levels of measurement that are associated with the variables that we create. Tune in, folks.